Hello everyone, I'm just off to the dentist. But before going to the dentist, I'm gonna stop and do some work in a coffee shop, which is one of my favorite things to do. I spend a fortune on coffee shops, guys, but I figure I don't have an well, I do have an office in the house, but it's kind of wasted on me because I like getting out of the house. But anyway, never mind. So yeah, I just view it as like office costs. Anyway, since getting this car, you know I wanted like a rude boy car, like a drug dealer car. So I've got the black wheels, I've got the blacked out windows, my car's black. Like, I just like it because I'm not a rude boy or a drug dealer. And I just enjoy, I don't know, I just like it. However, it means that I get attention in this car that I don't want. And I just had it just now, and it happens all the time where other proper rude boys or drug dealers try to race me, and I'm like, I'm not looking to race. See, I was in a 30 miles an hour zone, 2 lanes, and the lanes were like clear ahead of us, and I was overtaking this car at 30 miles an hour, and he was going a lot slower, and suddenly he starts going the exact same speed as me, 30, and I was like, okay, well, I need to get past you because you're now going. So I went like 31, 32, then he starts, and I was like, looked over at him, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, no, I'm not racing. Like, even on a motorway, let alone in a 30, even people do it on a motorway where they like come up beside me as if to be like, oh, this guy will race me. I'm like, no, I won't. I'm not. And I take such pleasure in not even looking, not paying any attention, keep singing my songs. I like stick to the speed limit, and then they get bored and they zoom off, and I'm like, good, I'm glad I've bored you. Like, leave me alone. I'm not gonna race you. So if anyone sees me in this rude boy car, just know that I'm never gonna race you. I'm all about safety first, guys, you know what I mean? And also, I will definitely lose the race. This car is not that powerful. The engine on this car is the same size as the engine in my Mini. This is like the nicest, biggest car that I could possibly afford, and the compromise with that is that the engine is tiny. So like, no, I'm not gonna race you because I would definitely lose, and it's not safe. Right guys, we have come for a day out, family day out. To a place called Burnsall. This is actually our second time here, and I know this is like the best kept secret. You just park up, jump in the water. We've bought games, we've bought a picnic. Ava and Fen are running around. We're going to attach them to this if they get too leery. But yeah, it's very beautiful. Fen is making friends with the family over there. It's stunning. I'm so stressed, guys. Ava and Fen are being very misbehaved, so we've had to put them on the lead.
This is called child labour.
Yeah, what's the point in having children if they don't do all the labour?
Yeah.
That is true. Good work.
I've done plenty today.
Ava.
Basically, guys, hold my sandwich, please, Fletcher. Basically, I need to flip it. Basically, Joel and my dad are going for a poo, so me and Fletcher are left with the dogs. Say hi, Ava. Okay, Ava's there, Fen's there. Ava's being a little shit, and we're eating a sandwich. Fletcher, give us a tour of your sandwich. What sandwich have you got?
Bread.
Yep.
More bread. Chicken.
What's
butter.
the marination? Butter. And I've got beef. So, oh, Ava, what do you want? Happy life.
Happy healthy honor.
10. Okay, I'm on the score sheet. We're playing Mulkey.
No pressure, Jolly.
Yes! I perform better on camera.
Pressure makes diamonds, doesn't it?
19. What did you get, Taylor? 10?
10.
10, so you're on 34. So Keegan's go now. The goal is, if you hit 1, you get the points on it. If you hit more than 1, you get however many you got down. Wow. Vero. You embarrassed? Oh, 0 for Fletch. Like father, like son. Me and Taylor are smashing it. So, because that was 1, she gets the points on. How many was that?
9.
9. Good work.
How many points is Taylor on?
So Taylor is on 41.
Oh, 9
Fletcher's
to
on
win.
14.
And you've got to finish exactly on 50.
And if Keegan loses one more, like doesn't get any, then he's out. 9. Fabulous.
Looks easy.
It's actually really hard, so I'm on 28.
Yeah, and all the things start compact, and as you hit them, they get further and
Yeah,
further
so they
out.
start together and then you put them up where they fall, so they gradually spread out. It's very good. Right, Keegan, lose this and you're out, because he's already got 2 zeros in a row. Oh, saved by the 10. Good work. It's first to 50 and Taylor's won. Good work. You're 16. You're normally very good at mulki though, Fletch. But it was Fletcher's birthday party yesterday and he's had like 2 hours sleep, so that's probably why. Not to undermine you. What are you doing? You're embarrassing us. Guys. This is absolute chaos. We should not have brought the dogs. They're so annoying. Mulki done. It's time to play some ball with Ava. Come on. Some daddy-daughter time. Let's go in. All my crocs. So I can go in. Ava, drop. Ooh. Good girl. Go on in. Good girl. Ooh. Drop. Good girl. It is absolutely blooming freezing. I think I'm gonna have to get out. My legs are in so much pain. Weirdly, I think Ava's had enough as well. Do you want to come back in? Right. Ava, come. Good girl. Good girl. Come here. There's a duck there. Right, it's the end of the day. These two have been in the water non-stop. Me and Fletcher have just been out on the grass. I call it a moo-moo, but it's not a moo-moo.
Why do you call it a moo-moo? It's not like a cow.
No, it was on The Simpsons where like morbidly obese people that can't wear clothes wear moo-moos, which are basically big dresses. It's what they call them on The Simpsons. So.
I feel a bit like a Jedi.
Yeah, so that's a microfiber towel.
Jabba.
Jabba. Right, we're just packing up now, and then time to head home. So whilst we're doing things to the house, sorting things out, we're trying to get it just in order, get things done. To be honest, we're trying to get it to a really nice standard, and then we're gonna get valued, and then just gonna, you know, we probably will move in the next year or so. So that's the plan. But anyway, I've been helping a lot. I've like with the bathroom, I've been lugging tiles up and down. I've been helping lay them, putting spaces in between, moving them around. Like I'm exhausted physically, but let alone Keegan, because Keegan has done all the calculations to know, you know, where the tiles are going and lining up, and then been like sawing them and cutting them to shape. And he's done the majority of the work. Like I couldn't have done it without him. But I've been heavily involved, even though you haven't seen any of that. I'm also taking charge of lots of the decor and stuff like that. One of the things that I need to sort out is plants. So this plant has been in the corner here, and he's just not enjoying it. He's dying. So I actually took some time to Google. I mean, look, this is a new leaf. That's why it's a different color, and this is a new leaf coming through. So it's not going too badly. But discovered, guys, that he needs a lot of light, and he's tucked away in that corner, away from the window. So he's in the bath because he's had a little drink. So what we're going to do is move him. He's now in plant hospital. Joel is taking control and looking after him. This is going to be his replacement, but he's in here for the moment, and he loves the shade, apparently. So yeah, I did my research. Turns out I've realized that getting a plant is not just about winging it and going, yeah, I can keep it alive. It might need some water and stuff like that. Like, in order to keep your plant alive, you need to like match them to the correct room. So like, it was silly of me to just see that plant and get it thinking it would go in the bathroom, because I need to know what it likes. And now I've done research. It likes warm, misty environments. So that is good for the bathroom, but he loves loads of light and he loves being watered a lot. and haven't watered him a huge amount. So I think the one currently in the bathroom is either going to go here in the hallway, or he's going to go in our bedroom in the corner. I am loving being a plant dad. I've got my tree, my apple tree in the garden. I'm going to buy some more trees. I'm just becoming a real horticulturalist. Right, he's been relocated. For the moment, I think it looks good having a plant there, but basically I need to get a pot for him to be in, and then that stand probably will be a bit too small because he needs to catch all the drips of the water and it doesn't look very aesthetic. But hopefully he'll be a lot happier there because he's right next to the window and this room is full of sun first thing in the morning. Hey everyone. Oh, this is a different setup. I didn't actually bring my camera because I'll explain where I'm going in a second, but I don't want to film any of today. And then I've got to the station early and I was like, I'm up for a chat. I've got my coffee to drink, so it was too hot. So I'm like, let's have a coffee and a little chit chat. But basically I'm off to London. So I've just arrived at Wakefield Westgate Station and my train is in 25 minutes. So I've got time. I'm going to London for my friend's 30th birthday. My friend Rachel, who you guys will have seen on the vlogs a couple of times. But yeah, I don't think she's been heavily featured. So no worries if you don't know who she is. But yeah, it's her 30th birthday today. So I'm going, I'm very excited. I will be reunited with some of my old friends from university. Some I haven't seen in years and years and years. So I'm looking forward to that. Mostly, I don't know anyone though. I probably know 3 or 4 people. Other than that, I know nobody. So it is pushing myself out of my comfort zone, but you know what? It's worth it. Rachel's probably one of my best friends. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, when I get married one day, I'm like, who would I invite? And I was like, literally, in terms of family, I've got loads of family. In terms of friends, like close friends, I could probably count them on one hand. And I'm like, is that sad? Is that normal? Because I feel like when people get married, that people complain about, oh, there's so many people to invite. Oh, the list is endless. And I'm like, really? Mum, dad, brothers, a few cousins, a few aunties, uncles, a few friends. But anyway, so yeah, Rachel's one of my close friends. So I was like, you know what? Even though this is scary, I'm going to go. Weirdly, Keegan is going to London as well. He's on the hour train after me. He's taking his kind of like adoptive mother in a way. Basically, he's taken her to the theatre. Her name's Christine. She's amazing. She's so fun. I love hanging out with her. And they're having some quality time together. So they're on their way to London in an hour's time and they're going to see Moulin Rouge and going for dinner or lunch. Oh, so Northerners in the UK, if you're not from the UK, Northerners call lunch dinner, whereas Southerners call like dinner, like tea time, dinner. But Northerners say breakfast, dinner and tea. I say breakfast, lunch, dinner. So the dinner lunch thing is, anyway, they're going for lunch and a show, and then we're actually weirdly on the same train home, at the 6 p.m. train home tonight, so I might see them on the train afterwards. But yeah, I was thinking this in the car earlier. My new motto in life is going, it's not my problem. It's not my problem. Bearing in mind, I don't say it to other people because that is a bit rude, but I say it to myself because I make other people's problems my problem all the time as a people pleaser and as someone who, I just think it's because I'm empathetic and I want to look after people. I was in the car thinking, oh, I don't think Keegan and Christine have enough time to have lunch because the train arrives at about 12:30 and the show starts at 2 or 2:30. They've only got, and then I was like, Joel, that's not your problem. It's not my problem. If Keegan has done the timings wrong, which he might not have done, but if he's done them wrong, that's his problem. Like, he's an adult. He can sort that out. Why am I spending my time worrying about his plans? But I do this all the time with everything. So my new mantra to myself has been like, it's not your problem, Joel. It's not your problem. And just get rid of it. It is hard though, because I do like to look after people and sort things out for people. And also, in one of my latest videos, I mentioned how I want to like switch up a little bit or like put more thought and energy into this channel, whether that's through getting new equipment or new ideas, new types of videos and stuff like that. It's been so interesting to see the feedback from you guys. Some people have been like, yeah, absolutely, invest in new equipment, like that's a really good thing to do as a content creator, do that. There's been people going, no, don't bother, and there's also been people with the ideas going, don't change your ideas, like just do what you're doing, like this is what we want. Whereas it's funny from my perspective, I'm like, I need to keep doing new, interesting things. I need to keep reinventing the wheel, essentially. But then reading your comments, I'm like, maybe I don't. Maybe I just have to stick to what I'm doing. Just keep going with it. Don't try and do something different just because. And I think it's because in most normal jobs or careers, there's always new steps and progression, isn't there? And it's like in this job, there isn't necessarily progression other than gaining more views or subscribers or changing your content and feeling like a new sort of project. But yeah, so it's interesting to read that. I think I've said in a video how just unhelpful it is when I see comments going, I liked your videos before when you were in London, your videos have been ruined ever since you got with Keegan, ever since you moved up north, you've changed, like, I don't like your videos. Like, none of that is helpful. And I think I've said this before, and I'm like, that doesn't help. So I do get defensive when people say that. People are entitled to say, yeah, I preferred your videos when you were single and lived down south. That's absolutely fine, but like, I am going to be defensive about that because I'm not going to change that. You know, I live up north, I'm not going to move back down south, I'm not going to break up with Keegan, I'm not going to, do you know what I mean? So it's not helpful criticisms from people. Whereas this one person commented yesterday, and I think it was a she, they said they're really glad that I acknowledged like maybe switching up my content or focusing on my content, because they were like, I haven't been connecting to your content recently, and it's because I think you used to give so much of yourself to people, and now it's the same with every content creator where they just reserve that for their members or their Patreon and stuff like that. And she was like, I totally understand why, but it just sucks a bit because like we still want to get to know the vulnerable you. And she was like, this isn't hate, I'm not unsubscribing, and I'm like, no, that is absolutely fine. Like, it's hard to hear, of course. Any sort of critique is hard to hear, but I'm like, no, that is helpful. That is really helpful because you've then put your finger on it, because that person could have easily just said, I don't like your videos anymore, you've changed, I'm unsubscribing. And I'm like, okay, cool. Firstly, if you want to unsubscribe, do it. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not ever gonna beg anyone to stay around and watch my videos. But secondly, it just wouldn't be helpful to me. And now I'm going, oh yeah, like I probably have reserved my most vulnerable videos and like the thing that I used to do a lot on my channel, expose myself basically, not physically, but emotionally. I now just save that for my members. I don't do that for monetary gain. Of course, there is a membership fee, and that is a big part of content creators nowadays, where we reserve content for an extra fee. It just helps us to keep being able to create content. However, it's more to do with me feeling safe. So now, like I've been on making videos on the internet for 10 years now, and I've done my time of like bearing my soul to the entire internet, crying loads on camera, and just being very vulnerable. Let me check the time. Fine. And it does, like, I've had my parents say to me, Joel, like when I might have put a video out like a few years ago or something, like, or multiple times, they're like, are you sure you're like, we worry that you're putting like too much of yourself out there and like in a vulnerable way, and it's not necessarily good for you, because again, people can use that against me. People that don't like me, trolls, can pick the weak spots, and also it's not, I don't know, it's just puts you in a weird position, doesn't it? And so it feels safer to do that with my members, because not everyone is a member, and people who don't like me are unlikely to sign up to my memberships because they don't like me and they don't want to give me any more money. So it's a good little barrier, and if any trolls are in there, they'll get kicked out straight away. So yeah, that's kind of the reason why. But it has got me thinking and made me think that actually I do agree with you. I think I do still need to be a bit more open and vulnerable with you guys, because I think I have put the walls up a little bit publicly and saved all my vulnerable moments for the members. So cheeky plug for members, if you want to see the vulnerable videos, you can go watch. But I mean, any member would tell you as well that yeah, I probably am more open and honest and vulnerable in those videos, but it's not like a wildly different me, do you know what I mean? But I suppose that's not the issue, is it? The issue is some of you guys who've been here for a long time. I mean, this is only one comment that I've seen, but you let me know if you feel the same, because it is helpful to know. The previous Joel, and I can picture the videos in my head, like sitting down in front of my camera in my bedroom, in my living room, whatever, and just chatting for 10, 15 minutes straight about how I'm feeling and things that are going on. I don't do that anymore. The closest I do to that is like a Q&A or what I'm doing right now. But yeah, I think I've just put the barriers up, which is a good thing, but I think I can afford to like lower them a little bit, maybe. And I did see another comment the other day that was like, oh, it said something like quite patronizing, being like, he said something like, oh, you can't fool me, I can see you're trying so hard to be strong and not vulnerable, but I can see the vulnerable you. And I'm like, yes and no. Like, no, I'm a very sensitive person, and I'm open and honest about that. Everyone in my real life knows that I'm sensitive, not overly sensitive, but you know, I'm an empathetic person, and I am vulnerable, and I'm happy to do that. But yeah, it has been a choice, I suppose, to be like, well, I'm not going to be too vulnerable online. But yeah, I think it's just something I'm thinking about now. I'm like, actually, maybe this change isn't necessarily the videos need to change. It's just maybe I need to allow more people in. I don't know. Anyway, those are my thoughts. My train leaves in 13 minutes, so I better get going. Basically, guys, normally when I go down to London from here, I have my backpack as per usual, but normally I have my laptop and my camera and I'll do some work. But because it's Saturday, I've just bought my book and I'm like, I'm just gonna read. So I'm looking forward to having like 2 hours of reading and then 2 hours of reading on the way home as well, which is nice. Annoyingly, I do have my backpack though. I'm going to a 30th birthday party with my backpack, but I'm like, I've got books, I've got chargers, I've got a coat, I've got to change a t-shirt in case I spill anything on it, because that is something I do. So I kind of need to take a bag. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in another clip.